Welcome to the WealthGenius Podcast. The WealthGenius Podcast. Strategies for multifamily real estate investing, mindset, community, success. The WealthGenius Podcast with your host, the Godfather of Real Estate, Alfonso Cuadra, who has expansive experience in business and massive success as a real estate investor. The WealthGenius Podcast. Let's dive into today's episode.
Cody, what's going on, my man? Good to have you here. You'll see that my voice is kind of gone, but it's not completely gone, so I saved a little bit for you.
Yeah, thank you.
We're at the Expand Conference here in Niagara Falls. How was your weekend so far?
Well, it's great. There's lots of energy in the room, and there's a lot of eagles in the room as well.
Yes.
And WealthGenius baby has become another baby eagle.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love this interview because you have a subject matter that I know nothing about, and I won't even pretend I know anything about. You work in options. Well, I know a little. I know a little bit,
yeah.
but so explain to us, or me, someone that knows nothing, what are options, how do they work, and how can we make money?
Yeah, so really stock option for real estate investors, the way I explain it is we try to buy off-market stock. Just like real estate investor likes to buy off-market deals because it's usually less eyeballs and you can get a better deal at a cheaper price. Right? In stock market, with our strategy, all said and done, we can actually buy stocks that are off-market, and that's always on-market, but we can do it as an insurance broker. So we can sell insurance contract saying that, hey, I want to own the stock, I want to own anyway at a cheaper price.
So I'm going to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
You may have to do a little bit of explaining. Right?
Yeah.
So so these options can only be done through a broker, or can you do them on your own?
Well, you can do them on my own.
Okay.
I have hundreds of students, and 87% of them are actually real estate investors.
Okay.
All of them have the same app on their phone. Again, I'm not sponsored by any ads. I'm a guest speaker for TD Bank.
Yeah.
But I don't even use the platform. I just use the Interactive Broker, and then they can do it anywhere in the world.
Wow. So specifically an option. It's an option to purchase. I'm using my real estate brain to try to make sense of it.
Yeah.
So you have an option to purchase. You haven't purchased it yet.
Yeah.
There's an option.
Imagine you go to your neighbor, John. This neighbor is afraid that his house price is in the bubble is going to collapse. You walk up to Papa John, okay, and you say, you know what, he's afraid that the house price is going to drop 20%. Okay, what if we sign a contract, if your price drops 5%, I will buy it from you at that price. If it drops,
so you're hedging.
You're letting him hedge.
Yeah. Oh, he's hedging and potential down.
Yeah, but you are the insurance broker selling him that contract. But you know what to do if you buy that house. You want to buy even a half million. So now you have a chance to buy for $450,000 for next year. And even if you don't buy them, you will get paid $10,000 as a premium. That's an exchange, right?
Yeah.
He wants to hedge. Okay, I'm the insurance broker. I sell you the insurance broker. You pay me the premium.
And so it sounds like risky, and because you now have to have a crystal ball. You know what I mean? So, how did you even get into this? Number one. Number two, how did you get good at it? And number three, what can someone do, someone like me, that is intrigued and fascinated, but I'm also confused on what to do next?
Yeah, you have me on stage. I off for 30 minutes. I'll be explaining it there. First of all, risky. I would say actually you're not risky. Because it's like when people put on an offer, you lowball it. If you get it, you know what to do. Just that if you get one sign already 1 year out, you need to buy 1 year out. But you know you're going to get a deal, and you know what you're going to do. You're already willing to buy for half a million. Now, you can get it for $450,000 because of the $10,000 you get paid. You actually got it for $450,000. So that's $60,000 weekend. You just get it for free. So usually real estate goes up, you make the market, you do fundamental analysis. That's my argument for being risky. Now answer your question of how can someone start?
Well, how did you get started?
How did I get?
That's the first question.
Yeah. I started investing in stocks when I was back in school. I was an engineer. I set up 9 classes for accounting, finance, and all that, learned all stocks and all the powers. I didn't really learn strategy. I just put my money in boring stuff. Right? And then later on, once I graduated, I was working a job, I was trying to learn real estate, day trading at night. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. I was losing money at first. I flipped it to positive, but really this is a second job. And that's where the strategy, options, and now we spend 30 minutes per week. That's all we do. And a lot of students are actually replacing
So, okay, let's back this up. When was it the first time you made serious money as a strategy? How old were you, first of all?
Here's the thing. The way my brain is trained as an engineer, the way I go is I never look for money. My brain, even today, I have a 7-figure account. I make 200K, 18%. It's whether I do the right thing or the wrong thing. Because if I keep doing the wrong thing and I make money, that's the wrong way of doing it. That's the way I think. If I do the right thing. If I do the right thing and lose money, maybe it's a one-off. Right? So I don't really have a feeling of making my first bucket of money. Yeah, I make.
Well, I guess essentially the question is like, when did you realize that this was what you were going to do full time?
I quit my job in 2019. I was a mid-management percentage. I was at 29 years old. And that time was when I look at my account and I look at my full-time job. My account has been consistently making either red than my full-time job. Below 6 figures.
Wow.
And then I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm paying Kiefer. At that time, I didn't set up a portfolio. This doesn't make sense. I didn't like my job. I think so I started taking personal coaching, courses, and now we have a mastermind just like WealthGenius of stock options.
Wow.
So that's what I've loved in the last 3 years.
Wow, incredible.
And COVID definitely helped.
And so, like, you're known. Like, I went to your Instagram. You got thousands and thousands of people following you. You got content. And, like, you help put people at ease with these types of strategies. And so one of the questions that I had was, how does someone get started? What's the first thing they do?
That's a good question. So how do you get started? And that's why, because we have so many students, hundreds of thousands of them, stress tests are onboarding process. So we work up on the kinks. You want to know how to open your account, what type of account to open, or exactly teach you one time of onboarding welcome calls with a head coach. Teach you, okay, how do you retire, how much money you have, what's your goal, what's your pain point, where you want to start trading 2 months. So we have all that. And then before we make our first trade, our coaches get on a call and make sure everything is right. Because that first trade, that first profit, might be the biggest fear. But afterwards, you're like, this is boring. A lot of my students are like, what do you do?
No, I love that. I mean, that's what WealthGenius does, is we create a process, right? And I mean, that's what you have, and it sounds exciting, it's fascinating to me. What's the average that someone can make? Like, if someone was just kind of doing this like part-time, and they're involved, but they, boring money. I like the boring money too.
I like the boring money.
Yeah. So, how, like, what's like the average out of your students? Like, let's say, I mean, obviously you have like the top that are doing really well, and then you have maybe people that are not as active. So, what's the average? What can someone reasonably expect using this strategy?
That's a very great question. So, we're telling people, I don't tell people, I show my account, and you will see it later on. On track to make 40% this year. What I tell people is you can make 1.5 to 3%. We have a lot of doctors, high net worth people, so busy, surgeons. Like, Cody, I haven't touched my money in 2 years. 1.5%. Yeah. And my question is, are you happy? That's 1% of account. I say, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, there's someone that just quit their job and nothing to do. There's like, okay, I'm making 5-6%. But that's where we're like, are you sure you're doing the right thing here? You're just taking on more risk. You want to make sure you do the right thing. But if you're doing more right thing,
Yeah, so we're an expand. Primarily, everybody here is a real estate investor. And the question someone's going to ask me, even on this video, is, Alfonso, you're a real estate guy.
Yeah.
Why are you talking to an options guy?
Yeah.
You know, and so how can what you do complement what we do?
Yes, that's a very good question. So there's fast, medium, and slow money. The fast money is the cash flow. A lot of people have active income, active business, or their T4, or in US the W2.
Yeah.
A lot of them can do a lot more if they can replace those time and do something else. So that's why I set up that strategy. That's your true cash flow, because every single trade can turn around about 10 to 20 days. So it's not like any real estate project tied in for a few years and you're going to claw back on it.
Oh man, some land development deals. It takes a while.
Right? So that's where you can make the fast money. Then you can decide whether you use that to fund your lifestyle, pay your expenses, or invest investment into real estate, or buying.
But you also do real estate as well.
Yeah. We just had our Airbnb launch a month ago.
Nice.
And then we're building an additional dwelling unit, garden suites, duplex, and all that, and learn about multifamily investing.
So increased cash flow, pouring money, right? You got the system. I love it. Cody, this is awesome. I want to learn more about it. I'm fascinated. We only have a certain amount of time here. What has inspired you in your life? What's been the most inspirational thing that you've heard or seen? What gets you going?
That's why my mom is my inspiration, because she never gave up. But I always feel like she didn't think. She's always like the person that keep going, run in circles. So she inspired me to sort of energy. To get to where I am today. And that's how I can make thousands of dollars for myself on strategy every month. So that's my inspiration. There's a lot of
Cody Yeh. How can they find you?
Oh, there you go. If you type in my first name, last name, Cody Yeh, CODY, last name YEH, you can find me anywhere on YouTube.
We did a podcast together.
We did a podcast together.
So where can they find that?
They can find it on High Income Earners Fire. You can find us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Man, thank you for coming by. Let's go.
Let's go.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Genius Podcast. If you have a question or comment about something you heard today, reach out to the Godfather via social media or email him anytime. All that information is in the show notes. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Wealth Genius Podcast. The Wealth Genius Podcast. Until next time, see you at the top.